Welcome, Bout Betters. Well, that was a different press conference, and I like the energy. I also like the stare downs. Figgy seems ready, and Gon is just as big as Ngannou, which really surprised me. I feel a little unprepared for this card, despite the lines, and I'm hating those lines, as I really haven't had the time to tape study nor do my standard gambling and statistical analysis. This isn't going to be a matchup, in-depth look on the matchup, as much it is going to be a discussion on Victor Henry, as he was mentioned to me by Joey as a dog I should look at. For my subscribers in the future, as in the immediate future, in the next card, the computer is in hand and the format changes. So just view or listen to this as a narrative that may accompany actual fight footage next time out. We know what Raoni Barcelos brings to the octagon. He is a typical gatekeeper. He not only has fought the path of Victor Henry, but has established himself in the UFC as a well-rounded fighter who's at the top, or at least at the cusp of being an elite fighter. Victor Henry is the same age, but has more professional bouts all over the world. Fought in Japan, Russia. I watched a few of the fights, but focused primarily on his bout with Kyler Phillips. This guy is indeed a beast. He is super tough, but being tough is not the moniker or your best attribute for MMA. He is a jiu-jitsu champ, and to me, it really didn't show submission-wise, as I seen him mount opponents to just ground and pound them rather than go for a submission, but his counter jiu-jitsu is on point. His wrestling is very poor, but he has been backed and mounted by numerous opponents and has always escaped. He is extremely tough, but his movement, footwork, and defensive grappling and striking ability is not good. He just comes forward aggressively with a high pace. Did I mention this guy is tough? Tough as hell. There is no quit in Henry. He has that same drive that Simon Oliveira has, and it's going to bring in his match. And that's why I consider them better than the lines may suggest. He has never been finished. All of his losses went to the distance, but we can bet on tough. It's not wise to bet on somebody that's just tough. He has a good kicking game with a more traditional Muay Thai style. He will come forward relentlessly, but despite his pace, his striking is too basic to be effective against the lower tier of even UFC fighters. And he's going against Raoni Barcelos, who has a very well-grounded game. His striking defense basically is non-existent, but his counter grappling is his best skill set. On the feet, he is particularly vulnerable to knees, and he likes to clinch, which makes him easy to tie up and reverse in the clinch. Again, no quit, super high-paced fighter, but he is on short notice. And again, I didn't see anything that makes me confident in him beating Raoni Barcelos, but I would avoid Raoni in a parlay because he might have difficulty finishing Henry, and at plus 350 on the money line or plus 700 by decision, he might be worth a lunch money bet. So I would avoid Raoni in the parlays and throw some lunch money or cheap gas money on Henry as a value bet. Otherwise, pass entirely, pass altogether. I just don't see a clear path for victory for Henry other than a round 3 finish, which is at plus 2,800, or a brutal war for 3 rounds to a decision. Raoni Barcelos does gas. He will tire a little bit. If he doesn't get that finish, he can be broken. He also doesn't like to be in those wars. I think he doesn't like to be hit a lot. He has a little apprehension, and Victor Henry is the badger, the mongoose, I think the mangosa. He fights that way. This is a guy that is dangerous, and I like the fortitude. So not the best or the good dog on the card, but for the odds, maybe slightly worth a chase. I'm not 1,000% here. I just think the odds, Raoni Barcelos at plus 500, at minus 500 is just ridiculous. I think Victor Henry is going to actually put on a show for us. Hopefully we get to see him again in the UFC, because I think he does put on entertaining fights. The guy is very aggressive, very comes forward all the time, super tough. Like I keep mentioning that toughness, and that's why Joey mentioned him to me. So let me know if you've made it this far. You are a Bout Better. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think of Victor Henry. Where are your bets at this evening? I won't have time to do any more content, unfortunately. Working my ass off, tired as hell, barely got this out. If you've made it this far, like and subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. Thank you, Bout Betters. Good luck this weekend on all your bets. Let me know what your plays might be. I, again, haven't been best prepared, but we're going to still do this, and I'm still going to make some bets. So pay attention to what I put out in the comment section.